Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to share with you the Buddhist aspect to bring about human well-being and world peace. In order to the different religious sects to make progress in bringing about human well-being and world peace, the right kind of dialogues between them is necessary. This topic relate to the dialogues that different teacher from different faith, different religions, they have been discussed to bring the good of each religion, what the benefit for all the people that they practice their religions or belief and get benefit from that. So this discussion or presentation today that I want to share with you should be guided by the following principle. Number one, recognizing the common humanity of all persons on the earth despite of their differences. And number two, committing to developing empathy in our relationships with one another. Number three, appreciating the common value that all the major religions share. And number four, understanding the real meaning of the religious tolerance. And number five, taking action to deal with the problems that bring suffering to mankind. What about the common humanity? This is very important that everyone born to this world and need the security and happiness in their life. Regarding the common humanity of all people, His Holiness Dalai Lama is the common monk who was born in Tibet, and now he's the leader of Buddhists in the government exiles in India. He said that whether we like it or not, we have all been born on this earth as part of one great family. Rich or poor, educated or uneducated, belonging to one nation, religions, or system of ideas, or another. In the end, each of us is just a human being like everyone else. We all desire happiness and do not want suffering. Furthermore, each of us has the same right to try to get happiness and avoid suffering. If it is indeed true, then religious sects in dialogues with one another should first think of the common humanity of all persons, regardless of their religions and not of all the differences of right and rituals and belief among the various religions. We should treat others as individuals like us who are trying to live life as well as they can, despite all the difficulties and problems that come along. Whether we believe in God or not, whether we believe in God of Old Testament or New, or whether we believe in gods of Quran, or We are all first human beings who should treat one another with love and compassion rather than with anger and indifference. Our skin may be black, white, brown, or yellow, but the same red blood runs through all our bodies. Number two of the key word that I just mentioned to share with you today about how to bring peace to the community and ourselves is empathy. Since we all share a common humanity in our religious dialogues with one another, we should treat one another with empathy. Empathy means that we make ourselves one with the feeling and thoughts of someone else. The common experience is that we walk in someone else's shoes. We identify ourselves with another person so that we understand what it is like to be the other. The German word of empathy is influence, or combinations of two words, into, and feeling, the feeling. Thus, when we have empathy for the person, we get into the feelings of someone else to better understanding what if we are a little creative with the German language. We can say that in empathy, we become one with the feelings of fellow human beings. We can have a more productive religious dialogues with others. Then, if we can truly emphasize with those of whom we are speaking, if recognizing the common community, we become one with them. Number three is common values. The major religions of this world, furthermore, despite their differences, do share many common values. This fact should be appreciated in the religious dialogues we have with one another. The following are only two examples of our common value. Treating others as we would want to be treated. Having forbearance towards others, regardless of what they do to us. Treating others as we would want to be treated is the principles of the reciprocity. It is also known as the Golden Rule. In Buddhism, in the Sutta Nibbata 704 to 705, for example, we read, being free from sensual union, without aversion or attachment towards beings, however weak or strong they may be, comparing oneself to others in just them as, just as I am, so are they, just as they are, so am I. He should neither kill nor cause others to kill. This is in Buddhist perspective in Satatisa's translation, page 81 to 82. The italics are mine. In the books of Tobit 4, 14 to 17, in the Jewish Old Testament, Tobit said to his son, Tobiah, keep a close watch to yourselves, my son, in everything you do, and Discipline yourselves in all your conduct. Do to no one what you yourself dislike. Give to the hungry some of food, even your bread, and to the naked some of your clothing. Whatever you have left over, give away your alms, and do not begrudge the alms you give. In the Quran, Islam, finally, the Prophet speak the following, but if at the time of division of property, other relatives and orphans or poor are present, feed them all of the properties you have the same fear in their minds as they would have for their own. If they had felt a happy family behind, let them fear Allah and speak words of appropriate comfort. Ali translation, the italics are mine. Number 2 is the forbearance. Forbearance is not just be patient. It is rather putting up with whatever people do to us for as long as necessary, without ever complaining or getting angry. It is never getting upset if people are not nice to us or even hurt us. If we are abused by others in word or deed, we do not reciprocate in kind, no matter how violently they treat us. Forbearance is always showing kindness and gentleness to others, no matter what. In Buddhism, the Dhammapada words 399 oppress others. He who without anger endures abuse, flogging, and punishments, those trains of patience, that is forbearance, khanti, is like the strength of an army. Him I call a pramana. In the New Testament, Jesus said to his followers, but to you who hear I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Pray for those who mistreat you, to the person who strikes you on the cheek, after the other one as well, and from the person who takes your cloak. Do not withhold even your tunic. Jesus is teaching the Christian values of selfless brotherly love, agape charitas. And in the Quran 90, the Prophet says, what is it explained to tree a path that steep? It is filling and bondsman, or the giving of food in the day of privation to the orphans, with claims of relationship, or to the indigent down in the dust. Then will he be of those who believe and enjoy patience, constancy, and self-restraint, and enjoy deeds of kindness and compassion. Such are the companions of the right hand. Note that these two examples of the common value of the major religions have much to do with bringing well-being and peace to mankind and to avoiding violence. Number 4 is religious tolerance. Dialogue between religious sects should be guided by recognition of our common humanity, committing to develop empathy, and appreciating our common values. It is also necessary to understand the real meaning of religious tolerance. The dictionary defines tolerance both as the fair, objective, and permissive attitude towards opinions, beliefs, and practices that differ from one's own, and also as the interest in and concern for ideas, opinions, practices, etc., foreign to one's own. So, on the other hand, tolerance could mean little more than permitting other religious believers to practice their religions. On the other hand, it could mean to real interest in the concern about these religions. In the earliest colonial periods of our American history, witches were burned by the Puritans in Massachusetts. By contrast, the early Dutch colonists in Lower Manhattan were tolerant toward other religions, though their tolerance was a kind of bragging, unwilling, and acceptance. Long past are the days of burning witches. Gone are the days of the Puritans' theocracy. We in Americans are generally tolerant of religions today. Our tolerance of the Dutch inhabitants of Manhattan. You may practice your religions if you must, and we should not be merely fair, objective, and permissive regarding the practice of other religion. We should rather show the real interest in the concern about them. This means that we learn from other religions and thereby enrich our experience of our own religions by opening ourselves up to what they are saying, where possible. We make some of the belief of other religions are now our own. For example, Christians can learn from Buddhists about the powers of concentration, meditation to detoxify the mind. Buddhists, in turn, can learn from Christians to better appreciate the importance of humanity. They can also learn about what can be called the giverless giver, compare. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand through what your right hand is doing, so that your alms giving may be secret. Taking action is number 5. In our religious dialogues with one another, as important as these things are, we must do more than recognize our humanity, commit to developing the empathy, appreciation, and common values, and understanding the true meanings of religious tolerance. In short, we must do more than recognize, commit, appreciate, and understand Our dialogues have to lead taking action to deal with the problems that bring suffering to mankind. We have to become engaged. We have to create change. Religious sects have to figure out a way to work together to deal with the world's troubles. The Buddha says, as from the heap of flowers, maybe a garland is made. Even so many good deeds should be done by one subject to birth and death. Jesus says, by their fruits you will know them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or fig from the thistles? Just so every good tree bears good fruit, and a rotten tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can the rotten tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit will be cut down and thrown into fire. So by their fruits you will know them. Human beings, in other words, are meant to be productive, that is, to do some good in their own way for the betterment of mankind. Religious dialogues must lead to action in the face of so many problems facing mankind today. For instance, war, terrorism, poverty, hunger, human trafficking, and climate change. The problems of climate change, for example, has recently been brought to the fore by Pope Francis. The dialogue that the Pope called for will include the various religious denominations. The Pope says, the majorities of people living on our planet profess to be believers. These should spur religious dialogues among themselves for the sake of protecting nature, defending the poor, and building networks of respect and fraternity. These matters of climate change has also been of great concern to Pikupoti and ambassador of Our Voices, an organization decided dedicate to getting religious tradition to address these moral issues. On the importance of forbearance in Islam, compare footnote of the Ali touch on practical charity and love will be the acid test of faith and the teaching of all virtues. And the teachings of all virtues. The virtues are summed up. The virtues are summed up under the name of the passion. Includes constancy and self-restraint and compassionate kindness. Not only will they be the test by which the sincerity of their faith will be judged, they will be the fruit which their faith will constantly produce. So, thank you very much for your listening to my talk today about how to bring the peace to you and to community by dialogue and share the value for teaching of its religions. So thank you very much.